Welcome to the tier. I'm your host, David. Today we are going over all of the Saw films, 10 in total. Wish me luck. Fair warning, there will be major spoilers ahead. And yes, there will be blood. Saw 1, the film that started it all, was started as a psychological mystery thriller slash torture porn, created an instant horror classic and a legend in the process. Also, being the first of its kind in the franchise, there's not much to go off of. Therefore, I love this movie. I think it's a great introduction to Jigsaw and his games. Not to mention the traps. Oh, yeah, and that twist at the end, come on. That is honestly one of the best plot twists ever. That's why I feel it's safe to say that Saw 1 belongs in perfect. Saw 2, the games are bigger and the story thickens. This film is a race against time for Detective Matthews to save his son. And we also get to see how clever Jigsaw really is. He's also accompanied with familiar faces such as Carrie from Saw 1 and Amanda. This film holds one of the most squeamish and gruesomest traps, the needle pit. And then, in Saw fashion, that epic plot twist at the end, setting up for something much bigger. I feel completely comfortable putting this film at almost perfect. There's just a few things I would change, but that's that. Let me just start off. This film is my favorite in the whole fucking franchise. Saw 3. Let me tell you, I absolutely love the story, the stakes, the traps. Also, let me just say that we're introduced to another grotesque, gruesome, squeamish trap known as the Rack. Just snaps my bones. And that ending, let me tell you something, my mouth still drops to the floor every time I see poor John getting his throat slit. Oh my god, we came all this way for this? So, at the end of the day, we lost some great characters, but it's not over, baby, because there are way more Saws to go through. So I'm just going to throw this where it truly belongs. All the way at the top at perfect. I'm even putting this before Saw 1. Saw 4. In my opinion, this film is one of the weakest ones just by pacing wise and some of the decisions that Detective Rigg makes. I'm also deducting points for being flashed by Jigsaw right in the beginning of the movie during his autopsy. But my favorite part is when that sick pervert Ivan is getting tortured, and I'm glad he didn't make it. But also my number one favorite is the ending. Poor Detective Matthews. We grew to love him, but sadly, his head was crushed. And we also find out Hoffman is, an apprentice all along, and that this film takes place the same time as Saw 3. So we're in a time little loop right here. So, but sadly, that cannot save this film. I'm going to put it could be better, just because Rigg just really annoyed me during this film. So, let's move on to the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through. We have made it to Saw 5. This movie is what I like to call the Mark Hoffman flashback movie, because we learn all about Hoffman, how he became the apprentice, and we get to revisit some of the previous Saw traps after they've been cleaned up, and some setting up. So that was always cool to see. But it's really a cat and mouse chase movie with Peter Strahm finding out the truth, but sadly he does not get to tell the tale at the end because he gets squished like a bug. But man, that scene was just awesome. I'm rambling. But Hoffman is the new Jigsaw, ladies and gentlemen. But that's not what we're talking about today. So I'm getting back on track, and I'm going to put this movie at good. It was not perfect. It was not bad. It was good. Today's video is brought to you by The Horror Family. Come on down to The Horror Family, located in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Step inside where Halloween never ends. There you will find collectibles, masks, Funko Pops, and awesome displays. That is nice. And check out the brand new section, the Villainverse. There you can find everything to do with heroes and villains. Saw 6. This movie brings Saw back from the previous two. The traps are great. The story is great. The ending is mind-blowing, bringing back the reverse bear trap with an update, and actually seeing it kind of go off on Hoffman. But this movie really blew my mind on just how grotesque we can get just by that ending with the acid and Hoffman's face being ripped open. This movie was great. It was almost perfect. That's why I believe it fits in the almost perfect category. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to Saw 3D, Saw 7, Saw the final chapter, Saw whatever the hell you want to call it. This movie took everything that was great about the last film. It took a big fat wet steamer on it. Just the camera work, the 3D fucking butchered this movie. The blood was awful. Don't ever do 3D movies again. Let's leave that in the past, please. Thank you. One of the most redeeming qualities of this dumpster fire was not the traps, was not the tests. It was Dr. Gordon. It showed us how he survived in Saw 1, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The motherfucker was an apprentice the whole time. I fucking knew it. Anyways. And we also got to see a reverse bear trap go off. We got to see it do its job, and that's what I love to see. I love the carnage, and I absolutely love it. Yes, I don't like the film. Yes, the story was awful because they had to rush through this bitch to try to close all the loose ends. So for that, unfortunately, I am dropping this film, this dumpster fire, this stinky poo off. That could be better. Welcome to Jigsaw, or Saw 8. Honestly, this film was not necessary at all. It just added more characters, leaving more loose ends. Some of the traps were cool. The twist at the end was a little shocking, but it really was not needed. This movie honestly should have never happened. But I'm going to put it in could be better. We made it to Spiral, or Saw 9. Technically, this is not a Saw sequel, it's a spin-off. But it really should have never happened. Kind of like the last film. There was no John Kramer, just a small mention. The traps were really gruesome. That was really cool. The story was not great at all. Chris Rock, I don't see you as a serious actor. You're great as a comedian, love it, but not in Saw. Hopefully, you can redeem yourself with a Spiral 2, but I don't see that happening. So I'm going to close this movie off and put it in skip. Because you're not going to miss nothing if you don't watch it. Saw 10. Saw X. We are back, baby. This film saved the franchise. It was great all around. The traps, the story. It had real emotion in this damn movie. I love seeing John and Amanda back. This being a sequel prequel was awesome. It fit perfectly in between Saw 1 and Saw 2. There's not much I could say. Just that this movie is fucking perfect. There you have it, everybody. That is my take on the Saw franchise. Jason Blumhouse, bring back Saw, finish the story. Let's do it strong. Subscribe for more content. Give it a like. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all fuckers on the next one. Peace.